Hello everyone, welcome all. I am Surendra Jangu. Today I am going to discuss batch calculation in the glass processing. So, for batch calculation, what we have to know that at very first we have to know the raw materials. At which raw material is which oxides. That we have to know that glass formers generally silica, B2O3, P2O5. These are generally, let's say, silica is getting from sand. This basic it is like aluminum, bauxite. So, for different types of oxide, to get oxides, we have to know different raw materials available. So, see, this is a table for common name of some raw materials with chemical composition and then gravimetric factor. uh, you have to know that how much gravimetric factor is required for a particular type of raw materials. I think you don't have to remember actually this thing because you have that this will be provided separately what gravimetric factor you require for a particular type of raw material. So these are the different types of raw materials. From borax, generally B2O3. If we want B2O3, then we get this borax, and boric acid, caustic potash, caustic soda, cryolite, chelate, dolomite. This is a general purpose use of raw material for the calcium oxide and MgO. And then fluorspar, kyanite, gypsum. For calcium oxide, if you want to get calcium oxide, general raw material is the lime, because it gravimetric factor is 1. And lime or limestone, you can say limestone, calcium CO3. Okay. And some other material like nepheline, raw material used for the alumina, Na2. If you need a batch calculation for glass composition having these compounds like Na2Al2 3Si2, then you should prefer this nepheline raw material, so that some composition you will get from this. And then you take rest amount of silica. And if this Na2 remains, then you can take Na2CO3 sodium carbonate. Okay. And then this potash, if they say potash, or you can say hard glass that uses K2O, so you can take K2O from this potash. And then some glass contains lead oxide, red lead, salt cake, sand, SiO2. Generally gravimetric factor is 1, because this is only one composition is here. And what is slag? Slag is blast furnace waste glass. You can take varies with exact composition. So slag depends on the some industry. And soda is, this is the general raw materials for taking Na2O. And whiting, you can say this lime or calcium carbonate, limestone, you can take from these things. So you have to remember these type of raw material with their chemical composition. One thing that you have to remember is the molecular weight of all these chemical compositions. Silica, what molecular weight is this, Na2SO4. So particular element you have to know chemical composition, and then by adding this you can get to molecular weight of this. Okay. Now this is the general procedure how to calculate batch calculation. Generally batch calculation in the glass industry, at the earliest we have to take. So after the grinding and fining the raw materials, then separate raw materials has been taken in a batch of different like for example 40 kg batch, 100 kg batch that taken in the silos, and then that directly goes to the tank furnace. So generally in the as a raw material we are using cullets. So cullet is also having some composition. So based on that cullet composition, we can reduce the amount of that raw material. So there are generally three steps for this batch calculation. First one is to determine the weight fraction. Weight fraction of each component required to produce the desired molar composition. Begin with by multiplying the mole fraction of each component by the molecular weight of that component. So I'm taking this with the example. Say for the 3.1 example. Say here one glass composition is given 65 CaO 35 Al2O3. So you have to calculate at how much gram of CaO is required and how much gram of Al2O3 is required. So for that, very first step is determine the weight fraction. So molecular weight of components in gram per mole CaO is the 56.08. You have to calculate of molecular weight of CaO. Okay, that is 56.08. You don't have to remember the this raw materials, this oxides molecular weight, but you have to remember the particular element molecular weight, and by adding these two you will get this 56.08. Similarly for Al2O3, the molecular weight is 101.96 gram per mole. Now second step, determine the molecular weight of the glass. Total glass molecular weight you have to calculate, and then divide each individual contribution by molecular weight of the glass to determine the weight fraction of each component. So at here molecular weight of glass, this 0.65 is this is 65. We are taking as a 100. 65 plus 35, that is a 100. So by percentage we are taking it 0.65 multiply by this molecular weight 56.08. And similarly with the alumina 0.35 into 101.96. So this is the total molecular weight of the glass, 72.14 gram per mole. Now weight fraction of each component. Earlier we have calculated molecular weight of each component, then molecular weight of total glass, and now weight fraction of each component. That will come by, say for example CaO 0.65 into 56.08. This is the total molecular weight of this CaO in a glass, that you divide by total molecular weight of glass 72.14. So this is the 0.505 amount of a particular calcium oxide. And similarly for Al2O3, you divide 72.14 in the 0.3 into 101.96. You will get this. So this is for 100 gram of glass. 100 gram you have to multiply by 100. So you will get 50.5 gram and 49.5 gram. So for a 100 gram of batch, you have to for 100 gram of batch for making this 65 CaO 35 Al2O3 glass, you have to take 50.5 gram CaO and 49.5 gram Al2O3. This is the very simple example for a particular type of glass. And finally multiply the weight fraction of each component by the amount of glass to be produced. Up to this we have covered in the example 3.1. Now another step is the batch weight of any component which decomposes during melting is adjusted by multiplying the weight fraction of that component by the appropriate gravimetric factor for the raw material actually used in the batch, in the example 3.2. So here is the glass composition is 20 Na2O and 80 SiO2. By looking this glass composition, you can say directly that what kind of raw material you will choose. say for silica you will choose sand, and for Na2 you can choose sodium carbonate, or you can say soda ash. So generally in above example, this calcium oxide you can directly take lime, and for alumina you can directly take alumina. That has no issue. But in this case, Na2 you can't take directly this Na2, because Na2 sublimes. Sodium oxide is not stable in air, so we must use a base component such as sodium carbonate, that is soda ash, which yields Na2O after decomposition. You can take this raw materials, and this will decompose in the tank furnace by removing CO2. Generally, as we have already discussed, that CO2 and some oxygen create some bubbles in the glass melt. So how we will remove that? By adding finer agent like arsenic oxide or antimony oxide. So this Na2 you will get from soda ash, Na2CO3. It is necessary to multiply the desired quantity of Na2O by the gravimetric factor of Na2CO3. As we have seen in this table, there is soda ash Na2CO3. It has gravimetric factor is 1.71. So you have to multiply by this 1.71, where to obtain the weight of Na2CO3 35.05 gram. How you will get this thing? To be used to yield the desired 20.5 gram of Na2O. Say it's a simple calculation as we have done earlier for earlier class composition. This CaO2O3, same thing. You will first you have to calculate molecular weight of this different composition, Na2 and SiO2, and then total molecular weight of the glass, and then weight fraction of each component. You will divide by total this molecular weight of glass. You will get this 0.205 and 0.795. Now for 100 gram of glass batch, you will multiply by this. Then you for 100 gram of batch you need 20.5 gram Na2O and 79.5 gram SiO2. Now for taking raw materials, you can directly take sand as 79.5 gram, and for Na2O you have to take soda Na2CO3 soda ash. So generally it is not having equal amount of 20.5 gram of Na2O. It is having some extra CO2 is also there. So what gram of Na2CO3 we have to take? We by adding this 1.71 gravimetric factor, we have to multiply with this 20.5 gram, then you will get 30.05 gram of Na2CO3. So by this you will get 20.5 gram after decomposition in the tank furnace. Okay. Now the another thing is that use of raw materials which supply more than one batch component requires additional calculation. Say for example 3.3. So here the glass composition is Na2O, Al2O3, SiO2. So there is Na2O, Al2O3 and SiO2. We can take raw materials which contain all these things. So some of the weight fraction we will get from a single raw material. Then remaining oxide we will get from that particular one raw material. Let's say for example alumina and sand, we can directly take that raw materials. So in this case, as we have done earlier, for molecular weight of each component in gram per mole, then molecular weight of total glass, and then weight fraction of each component. Up to this it is very easy, and then for 100 gram of glass you can multiply by this. Okay. Now these are the grams of oxide Na2O, Al2O3 and SiO2. This much of you have to take. Now if we use albite feldspar in this as in this example we are using Albite feldspar. Where is that? This is the Albite feldspar, that is having Na2Al23 as 6 SiO2 and having different gravimetric factor. We can take another raw materials for see nepheline. We can use also nepheline is useful for this calculation. So we also obtain some of the for Albite feldspar is the source of alumina. Why? Why we are taking Albite feldspar for source of alumina? See, alumina 5.14 and it is having very most 8.546 Na2, then Al2O3. So soda is, I think, for Na2, this is the sufficient raw materials. We also obtain some of the soda and silica needed for the base. Using the gravimetric factor for Albite in table 3.1, we found that we 41.89 gram of Albite will yield the required 8.15 gram of alumina. So we are thinking about at first alumina. We have to choose a raw material for a particular oxide to get 100%. So in this we are taking Albite feldspar for 100% alumina. So for getting 8.15 gram of alumina from Albite feldspar, what we have to do? We will multiply 8.15 by this 5.14. Then how much we will get? 41.89 gram. So 41.89 gram of Albite will give us 8.15 gram alumina. And how much Na2 and SiO2 we will get? This amount of Albite also yields 4.95 gram of soda and 28.89 gram of silica. We will also get this much of soda and silica. How we will get? Divide the weight of Albite by the gravimetric factor to find the yield for a given amount of Albite. So in this case you have to divide that gravimetric factor, to which this 41.89 gram. If you want Na2O, then divide gravimetric factor of Na2O in 41.89. Say Na2O is having 8.46 gravimetric factor. So this 41.89 gram will divided by that factor. Then you will get 4.95 gram of soda. Similarly for silica. After subtracting these quantities from the required amount of soda and sand, say you need 19.8 gram of soda, and from Albite you got 4.95 gram. So 19.8 minus 4.95, that is equal to 14.85 gram. So this you can directly take from sodium carbonate. How? Multiplying the gravimetric factor of sodium carbonate with 14.85 gram, then you will get 25.39 gram of soda. And for silica, you got this 28.89 gram of silica from Albite. Remove this 28.89 from 72 minus 28.89, you will get this 43.11 gram of sand. You can directly get this from sand that is having gravimetric factor is 1. So these are the raw materials for this particular type of glass composition. Similarly, you can take any kind of glass composition and you can calculate easily what kind of raw materials is required and in how much quantity. Basic thing is that you have to know the molecular weight of each oxide. so that it will be easy for you. Generally the gravimetric factor you don't have to remember, that will be given to you. Okay, thanks. We will discuss some important topics in next class. Thank you.